to 5 सक्यो अरे हैन फ्राइडे
मैम फ्राइडे त अफ हुन्छ नि हाम्रो एकाडेमिक एक्टिभिटी सबै
किन
फ्रेसर पार्टी छ मैम हाम्रो
ए ए अब पार्टी गर्न मिल्ने भइसक्यो
हजुर म्याम भइसक्यो कन्डिसन हेर्दा चाहिँ त्यस्तै भयो
ए ल त ल ठिकै छ ए त्यसो फ्राइडे क्लास छैन ल अलराइट सो लेट्स स्टार्ट लिगल प्रोसिड्युर्स हैन अस्ति अलिकति स्लाइटली एउटा दुईटा स्लाइड त भनिसकेको छु सो विल कन्टिन्यू द्याट एन्ड विल ट्राई टु फिनिश legal procedures by today. I hope you have learned few terminologies so I can ask questions. All right. So before slide change. You offense भने के हो त मलाई एकचोटि भन कसैले what do you mean by offense? Attempt garo so that we don't waste time. What is offense?
Ma'am, any act or omission made punishable by law.
Okay, any act, you know, even if you do some kind of act or if you omit out any kind of act which is punishable by law is known as offense. Please don't disturb the utazo. Is offense, all right, and that can be two type of offense, cognizable or non-cognizable offense. Right? Cognizable bhaneko when you don't need any kind of warrant, that is regarded as cognizable offense, such as murder, rape, robbery. These do not require any kind of warrant, all right, and non-cognizable offense when warrant is required. Okay, and punishments are whereas this capital punishment, it's not applicable in our country. Now, did we start this slide inquest vanera?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So inquest vaneko any kind of inquiry or investigation into the cause of death, kun cause of death vandakiri it's usually in is usually in unnatural, suspicious, unexpected deaths. All right, any kind of investigation to cause of death. Aba hamro types of inquest are police inquest, magistrate inquest, coroner's inquest, medical examiner's inquest. I think I asked you to read about police inquest. Oh, if anyone can explain what is police inquest. What is police inquest? Shall I call out name? Just use your brain. You don't have to be perfect. Okay, Bandana, can you answer that? Bandana Malla. I'll be writing down your names. Koko lai sodera koko kasle answer garyo bhanera.
Ma'am, police inquest bhaneko at the scene of crime पहिला police जान्छ and then investigate the scene of crime अनि cause of death हरु लेखेर पुलिसले चाहिँ पहिला जान्छ अरु common people लाई चाहिँ जान दिदैन.
Okay, very good. So that is any kind of inquiry done by police.
And the police should be
at the level of sub-inspector. Very good. So police inquest vaneko, the report or the inquest report is prepared by police himself, by investigating officer, and should be at the level of sub-inspector. Before in conducting the investigation, he informs to the nearest executive magistrate in presence of two or more respectable person. Why do you think two people are needed? Aman, can you answer that?
Ma'am, bias knows one.
Bias, what do you think these two people are?
I mean, perhaps someone may be related to the culprit in some way, or
Police
trying
may
to.
be, I know, police may be trying to hide the crime, I know. You're at your also.
Yes, ma'am.
Police, the investigation officer himself may try to tamper the report. त्यो कारणले गर्दा दुईजना विटनेस जहिले पनि रिक्वायर्ड कुनै पनि लिगल प्रोसेसको लागि witness is required, and these two people are the witnesses. Okay, so two or more respectable person is required. Now, what is the content of the report? Anand, I randomly pick गरिरहेछु है तिमीहरूलाई. Anand, can you answer that? What are the what are the content of the report? Inquest report ko content के हो?
Witness investigation of.
These people are investigating, or either they are witness. I know inspector
Yes,
and
ma'am.
two people are witness.
The culprits
Now,
involved in that scenes.
No. Please understand my question first. We are talking about police inquest. Maniko, it's a document or it's a report prepared by the investigating officer. Now, what
Yes,
is the content of the report? Report ma ule ke lekcha ta?
I couldn't understand.
बुझेन रिपोर्टमा पुलिसले जुन प्रिपेयर गर्छ नि मुचुल्का प्रिपेयर गर्छ त्यसमा उले के लेख्छ त यो तिमीलाई पुलिसले के इन्भेस्टिगेट गरिरहेछ व्हाट इज ही इन्भेस्टिगेटिङ
Crime scene को details
FIR.
Details. FIR.
No. Okay, anyone can attempt. Anand, you can mute yourself.
Ma'am, cause of that weapons use.
All right, that is what it is required in the report. I know whatever he investigated in the crime scene. All right. So, Timur friend Bandanali agi bhanisakeko थियो, cause of death is given. Though that cause of death is not the final cause of death, he can write down the apparent cause of death. All right. If he has seen a body in a hanging position, he can write down cause of death as hanging. But the final cause is given by the doctor after postmortem examination. All right. So cause of death, what is the circumstances in the crime scene? He can collect the evidences. He can write about the evidences. He can write about the wounds or mark of injury. And these are the content of the report. Finally, it is signed by the investigating officer himself and the two witnesses. Okay, so that is about police inquest. And if he does not suspect any kind of foul play, then the body is handed over to the relatives for disposal. Otherwise, if he suspects that there has been some foul play, it can be due to accident, homicide, or suicide, or unexpected death, then he sends the body for postmortem examination. Okay, and while sending the body for postmortem examination, he has to send this inquest along with the body. So when, as a examiner, as a expert, when you receive the body, you cannot receive the body without muchulka or inquest report. That is a must. That inquest report authorizes you to do postmortem or autopsy. All right, so that is must. Okay, I hope you have understood by now. So in our country, this is what is practiced, police inquest. But still, you have to know about other type of inquest as well. Sorry. Okay, I think that these slides are not present here right now. So I'll just tell you the what these are. Okay, about these are other types of inquest, and I'll just explain what it is. You can go through the books and read in details, but I'll give you a rough idea. Magistrate inquest, which is practiced in India. But magistrate inquest मा चाहिँ के भन्छ यहाँ अब अघि हामीले भने जस्तै नेपालमा it's done by police, all right? Indiaमा पनि it's done by police, but again there are few cases, specific cases. For example, custodial death. I hope you understood what custodial death means. It is under custody of a police. In a police custody death bhairachha bhane, how can police investigate in that case? So magistrate intervenes in this. Custodial death, dowry death. Dowry death bhaneku, if someone has committed suicide or maybe homicide, and the matter is regarding dowry after marriage, then magistrate intervenes in this kind of death. Duita death ma chai magistrate is intervening. That is known as magistrate inquest. They are investigating. Similarly, United Kingdom र some states of USA मा coroners भनेको coroner is a lawyer or advocate. Okay, so they are doing investigation. Right, that is known to be coroner's inquest. And United States मा चाहिँ this is practiced, which is ideally a very good practice, because अघि भने जस्तै content of inquest report के हो भन्दाखेरि you have to write down the cause of death. So medically sound अलिकति, of course medical examiner नै हुन्छ पुलिसको comparisonमा. Police are also trained medical legally, they are also trained, but again medical examiners have a broader knowledge. That is why they are sent for medical for investigation. Okay, so this is known to be medical examiner's inquest. अहिले पनि अब कुनै पनि if the case is a bit complicated or controversial, even in our country, expert accompany the witness. All right, sorry, accompany the police. So that is known to be medical examiner's inquest. Now, going further, we are learning legal terminologies. So going further, we have to know few other terminologies such as sapnia or summon. Have you heard this term, sapnia or summon? I asked you to study though. So if you have studied or if you know this, please anyone can answer this. What sapnia means or summon. I think you have heard what summon is. Yes, Kriti. Anil? फेरि भन त बा मैले सुनेन.
पेनाल्टी हो मैम.
For what?
पेनाल्टी त्यो कति तिरिन्छ के हुन्छ केस हुन्छ त्यो फर क्राइम या कुनै त्यो त्यस्तो भन्दा पनि
सपिना
मैम
भनेको
पेनाल्टी अब केस हुन्छ जेल कति वर्ष बस्ने अब कुनै केसमा जेल बस्नु कति वर्षको लागि जेल हुन्छ त्यस्तो पेनाल्टी.
पेनाल्टी तिर्ने सपनिया भनेको. You mean
सपिना
punishment?
भनेको courtले
Yes.
when the court asks a certain organization or company to give all the data and information to the court. For an investigation ko lagi.
Okay, good. So you mean to say if the court orders any kind of evidences to any particular person or any particular organization, right, Kritika?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So if they don't provide, then what is it? What is the consequences? What if they don't provide the evidences?
They're legally bound to provide the evidence. Government penalty
I
huncha
know.
होला problem.
Penalty, right, penalty. I know. Okay, thank you so much. So not just providing an evidence is under subpoena or summon. It is a document that compels for attendance in the court under penalty. All right. So if as an expert, you have done examination, examination of a body. Okay. And for evidence, you are called in a court. All right. So if you don't go, you don't like going to court or you don't go, then you are legally liable for the action you have done, and you may be arrested or you may be fined for not attending the court. So that is penalty. Okay, so while defining subpoena or summon, it is a document compelling the attendance of a witness in court of law under penalty. Don't forget this word, under penalty. Okay, and again, definition is not complete if you don't mention these on a particular day, time, and place for the purpose of giving evidence. Okay, so बोलाउन त बोलायो कोर्टले, तर बोलाको दिनमा नगएर भोलिपल्ट पुगेर द्याट डजन्ट म्याटर हैन. आज मेरो बर्थडे थियो, आज आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु गो भन्न पाइएन हैन. वाट एभर मे बी द रिजन, यु हेभ टु अटेन्ड द कोर्ट इफ कोर्ट calls you on a particular day, time, place for the purpose of giving evidence. Okay, and for receiving summon, there can be various summon coming to you at the same time. All right, so how do you give preference or priority on that? Okay, there is a certain hierarchy. Now, if you have received summon from criminal court and civil court, then you always give priority to criminal court. Similarly, if it's from higher court and lower court, it's easy. In this case, it's easy. You give priority to higher than to lower court. Okay. Now the question comes, if you receive someone from both higher court and criminal court, duita saman aayo, but how will you give preference? Can anyone think and answer? Or maybe you have read it. Did you get my question? If you receive two summon at the same time, ekai dinko lagi bolako cha, okay, from both from higher and both from criminal. Now, if criminal or civil cha bhane, it's easier to choose. Higher or lower cha bhane, it's easier to choose. Both criminal cha bhane ke garchau? What do you think?
Ma'am, सुरुमा जसले बोलाउँछ त्यसको first.
Who answered that? Who answered that?
दुईटै ma'am जसले पहिला बोलाउँछ त्यसमा हामी.
Okay, Bandhan ho timro naam?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good, Bandhan. Yes. So that is whichever summon comes first, जतिसुकै coincident भए पनि, this won't happen. summon receiving at the same time, dot 9 o'clock ma duita summon आयो त्यो चाहिँ हुन सक्दैन 9 मा एउटा आयो भने 10 मा अर्को आउला हैन so whichever summon was received first you have to attend that. Okay, so this is hierarchy of summon. Now there's a term known as conduct money. Can anyone answer that? Conduct money. Have you heard this? Okay, there's a good news, that is, if you are attending a court, fee is offered to you by the court. But the criteria is that it is only in civil cases at the time of serving the summon to meet the expenses for attending the court. That is, if you have to travel from one part to another part of the country, you'll have to bear some expenses. So that expenses is given by the court. That is the fee offered. This is known as conduct money. Now there's a term known as evidence. Evidence one. We have been using this term time and again. Evidence. What is evidence? Should I call out name? What do you mean by evidence?
Proof, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Proof. I know, related to what? Who answered that? I got to write down your name. Who answered that?
Ma'am, Abhishek.
Abhishek, okay. All right, so proof regarding what?
Ma'am, proof for your crime.
Crime, okay, regarding the case or crime. Okay, so let's not define as, thank you, Abhishek. Let's not define as proof, but it is all statement which the court permits requires to be made before it by witness. Please mute yourself, whoever is on mute. Okay, thank you. So all the statement which court permits requires to be made before it by witness, call it in proof, witnessly, in relation to matters of fact under inquiry. Whatever is required by the court and is related to the matter. What is related on the facts? Whatever facts is related with the matter that is required by the court. Okay, can be verbal, can be documentary. Okay, so this is known as evidence. Am I clear? So when you define evidence, it's the definition or please be careful. All statement which court permits requires to be made before it by witness, only provide course evidence witnessly in relation to the matter of the fact under inquiry is known to be evidence. Now there can be, I've already stated that it can be verbal as well as documentary. So all documents produced for inspection of court is known as documentary evidence. Now there can be two types of evidence. One is positive, another is expert. Sorry. Evidence can be provided by two people, that is by the evidence given by the eyewitness, which is known as positive evidence, and evidence given by the experts, which is known as corroborative evidence that helps to solve a case. Okay, so two types of evidence. Again, various types of names of evidences are given, such as oral evidence, that can be again direct and hearsay or indirect evidence, and circumstantial evidence. All right. And finally, documentary evidence. Oral evidence ma direct र indirect or hearsay evidence को example के हो भने direct भनेको अघिको हाम्रो थियो positive evidence ma given by the eyewitness. All right. Whatever evidence the eyewitness has directly seen or perceived by one of his senses. Perceived भन्नाले he could have seen the case, the crime being taken, in the circumstance, he could be present in that particular circumstance, and he has seen whatever has happened, or maybe he might have heard something, so perceived by one of his senses. All right, so that is given by the person, directly given by that person. One incident is there where A and B were fighting on a bridge, and B pushed A into the river. Okay, whenever this situation was happening, C was there and he saw the situation, or he saw that B had pushed A into the river and A had died. All right, so C becomes the direct evidence. All right, now he goes back home. On the way, he meets D. Okay, and C talks about the incident to D. Now, D also knows that B has pushed A into water or river. All right, so D becomes the indirect or hearsay evidence, gives the indirect or hearsay. मैले सुनेको थिएँ. Okay, मैले देखेको होइन, but मैले सुनेको थिएँ. So that is hearsay or indirect evidence. All right. Next is circumstantial evidence. In a crime scene, there's a case of murder. All right. So body was found badly mutilated. All right. And you can see weapon around the body. You can see struggles around the body. All the furnitures as tumbled. Maybe they were struggling with each other and one person was killed. As long as a person is conscious, there's always defense and struggling. All right. So that is known to be a circumstantial evidence, which is again a very important evidence. Now, the fifth one is documentary evidence. Documentary evidence are all the documents that the court requires is provided. All right. So what are the documentary evidence? We have medical certificates, this ill health, death, vaccination, birth certificate, medical legal reports. We prepare injury report, we prepare postmortem report, report of sexual offenses, pregnancy, criminal abortion. All right. So these are under medical legal reports. Now there's something known as dying declaration deposition, which you may not be familiar with. I will explain what that is. That is also under documentary evidence. And finally, other expert opinion from books. Kunai pani एउटा एक किसिमको case भयो, that was very difficult to be solved. Now, when it is solved, your situation ma चाहिँ this is how we handle, or this is the evidences. If it's written down, then that can be also taken as an evidence. Expert opinion from books. Okay, so these are under documentary evidence. अहिलेसम्म केही नबुझेको छ? Please let me know.
डिपोजिटमा डिफरेन्स भन्दैन के छ?
केमा?
डाइङ डिक्लेरेसन र डाइङ डिपोजिसनमा
ए त्यो म भन्छु, त्यो म अर्को स्लाइडमा भन्छु, डाइङ डेक्लेरेसन र डिपोजिसन। यो बाहेक अरु केही छ? Okay, I will take that as no. So
Ma'am, circumstantial like फेरि भन्दैन न।
circumstantial भनेको अब तिम्रो मार्क अफ स्ट्रगल होला, त्यहाँनिर ट्रेस एभिडेन्सेसहरु हुन सक्छ। ट्रेस एभिडेन्स भनेको अब okay, there's a road traffic accident, I know there's a body found in the road, you don't know which vehicle hit that person, okay, and while examining in detail you found a vehicle, त्यसमा paint has been chipped off from that portion of the vehicle where त्यही पोइन्टमा जसलाई जुन पार्टले हिट गरेको छ, paint has been chipped off, blood may be found in the vehicle, हैन? सो यो सबै जुन इन्भेस्टिगेसन गरेको हुन्छ त्यो लेख्नुलाई चाहिँ सर्कमस्टेन्शियल एभिडेन्स भन्छ। अथवा if there is a scuffle between two person, हैन, one person died and this is scuffle हुने उसमा प्रोसेसमा furniture may be tumbled up or त्यसपछि त्यहाँ के रे अब त्यो crime scene messed up हुन सक्छ, all right, and you can find weapons as well in the crime scene. धेरै जसो हुँदैन, they try to hide the weapon, कहिलेकाहीँ हुन सक्छ, blood may be found in the crime scene, and these all are under circumstantial evidence. Okay, you have to explain.
त्यो मेडिकल लिगल रिपोर्टको इन्जुरी रिपोर्ट अनुसार चाहिँ
फेरि भन त
जस्तै मेडिकल लिगल रिपोर्टमा नि त अब इन्जुरी रिपोर्टमा एक्सप्लेन त गरिन्छ नि हैन र?
हैन, यो तिम्रो डिफरेन्ट टाइप्स अफ एभिडेन्स भयो हैन, एउटा डाइरेक्ट, इनडाइरेक्ट, सर्कमस्टेन्शियल र डकुमेन्ट्री। ओके, सो डाइरेक्ट भनेको जसले देख्यो, इनडाइरेक्ट जसले सुन्यो, सर्कमस्टेन्शियल भनेको क्राइम सिनमा जे भयो त्यो एभिडेन्स हैन। अब डकुमेन्ट्री एभिडेन्स भनेको चाहिँ यो माथिसँग केही रिलेटेड छैन। डकुमेन्ट्री एभिडेन्स आर इन्टायरली डिफरेन्ट। वेट अ मिनट, sorry for that. Actually, let's log back again.